on Unpeeled. From the cottage to Italy, these two celebs are heating up the Olympics.
These Super Bowl performers are calling a political figure an American idiot.
These Broadway shows wanted to build a snowman after New York shut down on Monday.
And fans of this show are banishing a popular player on social media. All that and more, Unpeeled starts right now. Welcome to the season premiere of Unpeeled. I'm Isabella Galan.
And I'm Victoria Daly. We start with news on a popular late night show. Beloved late night talk show host Stephen Colbert has announced the date of his final show. The curtain will close for The Late Show with Stephen Colbert on May 21st for financial reasons, according to the show's parent company, Paramount Global.
Colbert announced the news during an appearance on Late Night with Seth Meyers. Paramount says they will not announce a new host for The Late Show franchise and instead will close with Colbert's departure. While he will be missed on our screens every night, his 10-year legacy will be remembered.
And from TV to the red carpet, the nominations for the 98th Academy Awards were released last Thursday, and with it, a new record. The movie Sinners was nominated for 16 Oscars, breaking the previous record of 14, which had been held for decades by 3 movies, including Titanic.
That's right, Victoria. Sinners actor Delroy Lindo was nominated for his first ever Oscar for his supporting role as Delta Sim, which came as a surprise to many, since it left Hamnet star Paul Mescal off the list. And possibly the most unexpected news that shocked fans was Wicked for Good receiving 0 nominations. The Oscars are set to air on March 15th at 7 p.m. Victoria, I just can't believe that Wicked didn't get a single nomination for the hair and makeup category. The other ones, it was a really tough competition, so not really shocked there. But for hair and makeup, I mean, the Tin Man was insane.
Truthfully, I did not watch Wicked for Good. Don't kill me.
Victoria, whoa.
I saw the first Wicked.
Wow.
I loved it so much, and the soundtrack, and I'm not a big musical person, but that soundtrack drew me in, and I'm someone who believes the second movies and third movies are never better than the first movie, so I kind of stopped after the first one.
You do have a point, but I do think it is worth to go see Wicked for Good at some point. I'll watch it with you.
Okay, perfect.
But it's just been such a competitive year when it comes to films. I mean, look at Sinners getting 16 nominations. We'll see how many awards they actually take home on Oscars night. But even looking at the other movies that came really, really close, you have Frankenstein, you got Marty Supreme, you got all of these incredible movies. It's going to be a really tough competition.
And Timothée Chalamet up for Best Actor in Marty Supreme, but you know, I was looking for Kevin O'Leary for Best Supporting Actor in that movie.
That's true. I mean, it's going to be an insane night, but all I care about is if K-pop Demon Hunters takes home a win. Well, history has been officially made by the world's first human to climb a skyscraper in free solo. Alex Honnold recently took on the 1,667-foot tower in Taiwan, known as the Taipei 101, with absolutely no safety wear.
This event was live on Netflix with over thousands of people in attendance, as well as millions watching for the comfort of their home. After over an hour of heart-stopping suspense, Honnold successfully climbed over 100 stories, which left fans all over the globe cheering on his dream achievement. Isabella, fears Alex Honnold.
You got that right. I mean, I cannot even imagine climbing anything, but then let alone 100 stories with no gear.
And this isn't his first climb. In 2018, Netflix put out a documentary when he free soloed climb a mountain in Yosemite, California, and I thought that was insane. And now 6 years later, here he is climbing a building.
Yeah, he is no stranger to this dynamic feat, that's for sure. He started climbing at the age of 5 years old, which is just so wholesome. I can't imagine your hobby that you start as a kid is now taking you to these insane heights. And he did, according to the New York Times, he did get compensated for it, but the craziest part about all of this was he said he would have done it for absolutely no money at all.
Yeah, he told reporters this was just a milestone in his climbing journey, and get this, he did it because he was curious on what it would be like to climb a big building. I mean, I have never been curious to climb a big building in my life.
Have never been curious and will never be curious.
But from Netflix to HBO, there's no denying that the new hit show Heated Rivalry has been lighting up our screens these past few months. Stars Connor Story and Hudson Williams lit up Italy as well as torchbearers in the lead up to the 2026 Winter Olympics in Milan Cortina, Italy.
The official Olympics account posted on Instagram saying, quote, "Olympic flame plus Hudson Williams and Connor Story as torchbearers equals absolute cinema. This is an amazing honor for these beloved breakout stars as their show has received tons of positive feedback from fans, athletes, and now national competitions like the Olympics." And dribbling onto the court, Syracuse fans chanted "Fire Autry" from the stands at Saturday's game against the University of Miami. This marked the third consecutive loss for the Syracuse men's basketball team, and after last night's game against NC State, they have now dropped to 12-9 on the season and 3-5 in the ACC.
Coach Adrian Autry shrugged off the negative comments and insisted that the season is far from over. He claimed that the coaching staff as well as the team will continue to keep fighting. However, the team will need to win 8 of their last 11 games to qualify for bubble status in the NCAA tournament. Like we just said, they just lost another game last night.
I'm not a big sports fan. We all know this. But I thought we were doing good at the beginning of the season. We were winning tons of games.
And we showed so much potential in the beginning. We had that huge upset over Tennessee. We almost beat Houston in the beginning of the season, but then there was all these close games that we should have won. We lost to Hofstra, to Boston College, Virginia Tech. Games that we should have won because we said we have to win 8 of our last 11 games, and the rest of our schedule is really tough. We have to play UNC twice, Duke, Notre Dame on Saturday. I don't know.
I don't know. It really is upsetting. I really do think they can pull it off. I am having
hope. And I'm a senior. I've never seen the men's team in the NCAA tournament. I want to see it.
That would be absolutely crazy. But what I will say, though, is in regards to the chants that were yelling "Fire Autry," we just got to remember time and place. At the end of the day, I know sports fans are going to be mad at me for saying this, but it was never that serious. It's okay. Like, people make mistakes. I get it. They got to work harder next time. But calling chants like that is just disrespectful.
Syracuse men's basketball players were also backing up their coach. They didn't really appreciate the chants either. So
it's
we'll see what happens with the rest of the games at home this season.
That is for sure. Well, when we return, this year's Super Bowl halftime performers are facing political pressure.
And is TikTok finally here to stay? Find out after the break. Stay right with us, Unpeelers.
Welcome to an excellent episode of Live from Studio B.
The Super Bowl is less than 2 weeks away, and criticisms continue for the performers. Our music reporter Elizabeth Gottlieb is here to break down the latest with the Super Bowl performers.
Thanks, Isabella. President Donald Trump revealed in an interview with the New York Post that he would not be attending Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara, California. The president said his reasoning was that the game would be too far away and too long. However, President Trump shared his thoughts on this year's Super Bowl performers, Bad Bunny and Green Day. He said, quote, "I'm anti-them. I think it's a terrible choice. All it does is sow hatred." end quote. The president attended Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans last year, where Kendrick Lamar performed. But criticisms of Bad Bunny performing in the halftime show have been circulating since the announcement was made in September. Bad Bunny avoided any performances in the U.S. out of concern that ICE raids would put his fans in danger. Back in October, the NFL Chief Marketing Officer Tim Ellis said, quote, "There's a lot of people right now who don't like Bad Bunny being in the Super Bowl halftime show. Well, not everybody has to like everything we do. Bad Bunny is awesome," end quote. If the NFL's goal is to expand the audience globally, having an artist like Bad Bunny can achieve that mission. And Green Day is also taking a turn in the spotlight. The punk rock band was announced recently as the performers for the opening ceremony to celebrate 6 decades of championship history. However, Green Day is known for using their songs to comment on the political climate. During live performances in recent years, Green Day has altered the lyrics of its hit single, American Idiot. Instead of singing, "I'm not part of a redneck agenda," lead singer Billy Joe Armstrong sings, "I'm not part of the MAGA agenda." While President Trump states his lack of attendance is not because of Bad Bunny and Green Day, it is important to note that both musical acts have spoken out against his administration. I'm your music reporter, Elizabeth Gottlieb. Back to you, Victoria.
After months of questions about TikTok's future in the U.S., the company has made it official with a new U.S. entity and a new CEO. Let's break down what this means for business and culture with our industry reporter, Cami Bremer. Cami, it seems like TikTok is always in the news.
100%.
But from an industry perspective, what is this new U.S. entity and why is it such a big deal?
Right, well, thank you so much for having me. So there's been a lot of uncertainty surrounding TikTok. Even about almost a year ago, we had almost a 24-hour ban on the app. So now, a year later, we are seeing some sort of resolution. Pretty much, TikTok made a separate company called TikTok USDS, and that will run the app in America. It's a joint venture LLC, which pretty much ultimately means that it is mostly owned by US and global investors. However, its parent company, ByteDance, is still involved but has a much smaller stake than it used to. This is ultimately all to ease those government concerns of data privacy and national security, and now US user data will be stored through oracles based in the US, and it's a server. So for the 200 million users in America that use it, the app should ultimately remain the same and still play out as normal.
Interesting. So then also, why was Adam Presser picked as the new CEO from an industry and business perspective?
Right, so Adam Presser actually has been a longtime TikTok employee. So him moving into this role as CEO isn't necessarily out of the ordinary. If anything, it brings a lot of companies and active users stability and comfort, knowing that because he knows the ins and outs of the app, because he knows why people value the app and for economic and business standpoints of how much financially income it has brought so many people, it brings a lot of, like I said, stability to these individuals that use the app every day. As CEO, we will see him do more operational tasks as well as day-to-day activities. It doesn't seem predictably that he will make major changes, only time will tell. But in terms of his role, it makes the most sense that he can just step into the position easily instead of retraining a new individual.
And lastly, shifting gears a little bit from an entertainment perspective, what does this mean for the platform?
Well, TikTok as a whole ultimately is an entertainment app at its core. So for all these people that are discovering new videos and producing content, it should ultimately remain the same. There shouldn't be any major changes. However, it just so happens that the last few days that people have noticed that there was a little bit of an outage on the app in terms of promotion and just viewership. There isn't a direct correlation on if it's related to the new CEO, but TikTok has said that it has been resolved and it was mostly just a power problem at the data center. But in the future, only time will tell, but we should see that the app remains the same.
Thanks so much, Cami. We all know the recent blizzard has been causing shutdowns in communities, but it has also affected Broadway. Find out more after the break.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Oh, okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. Yeah, Dad. We're getting so wet. Oh,
Welcome back, Unpeelers. Syracuse men's basketball has hit a little bit of a slide recently, but they had a chance to snap a 3-game losing skid against the NC State. Our sports reporter Nathaniel Cunningham took a trip down south to detail how an old rivalry got renewed.
They say revenge is a dish that is best served cold. Well, in today's matchup between Syracuse and NC State, Wolfpack guard Quadier Copeland grabbed revenge out of the freezer and handed it to Syracuse in an 88-68 loss. The senior had 19 points on 5 for 9 shooting and was 1 assist shy of his 5th career double-double. After the game, Copeland said he had this game circled on his calendar.
The plan was to plan and go in there and win. And, my teammates helped me every way possible. They knew how important this game was to me. They knew the things behind it, so this whole week they just been like, they got my back. And today's show, I don't get 9 assists without them making shots.
He's probably, playing at an all-conference level right now. He's a lot to handle, 6'6" guard that can move, wiggle, see over defenses, see over traps. You try to force him different places. He's used to that. He's the main guy on the scouting report. And I just, again, we were trying to, slow him down a little bit. But, this is a talented team, so he's just not, he has pieces and weapons. And, the biggest thing that Quadier does is he gets people involved.
Because he was a former player here, so I guess he just wanted to get back. And I know how that feels because when we went to Georgia Tech. But, I think his was just a little more personal. And, yeah.
Syracuse has now lost 4 straight games for the first time in the Adrian Autry era. However, the Orange can get their first win in nearly 3 weeks this Saturday when they host Notre Dame, who are coming off a tough overtime loss to Virginia. Reporting from the Lenovo Center in Raleigh, North Carolina, Nathaniel Cunningham, Citrus TV.
To the stage, Broadway took a break for a few short days, and the show that must always go on came to a halt. Here to talk more about this shutdown is my fellow Broadway lover, Kate Galanti. Kate, this has been a long time coming.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited to talk about this with you. Tell me about the Broadway shutdown that happened with all the weather that was going on.
Okay, so our fan favorite musicals, Ragtime, MJ the Musical, all were postponed this past weekend, and it really is unfortunate timing because we are amidst Broadway Week, which is a twice yearly celebration where fans get 2-for-1 ticket deals. So fans were not too happy, to say the least, but it had to happen because there was just a lot of snow coming down in the city.
Yeah, absolutely. And is this unusual? Has Broadway closed other times because of weather?
Well, the saying, the show must go on, and that remains true for Broadway. Broadway rarely closes down due to snow because of the subways and buses constantly running. This actually marks the 10-year anniversary of the first industry-wide shutdown, January 23rd, 2016. The blizzard where 2 feet of snow came to New York City.
Wow.
That was the only time it shut down. So this is a very, very rare occurrence in the Broadway community, Bella.
Absolutely, and I feel like the actors must have been shocked to have a snow day
100%.
because it never really happens. But what happened? How did the actors and how did the ticket holders respond to no longer having shows to perform anymore?
So some shows were canceled or postponed just minutes before the curtain came up, which is actually insane. So they were pretty disappointed, to say the least, but they will get their money back. They will get a full refund. The actors, on the other hand, expressed their concerns before the decision was made. Actress Jenna Bainbridge, who plays Nessa Rose in the Wicked Broadway cast, took to social media, even adding the mayor and governor of New York City, saying, "Can you please tell the Broadway League that there's a literal state of emergency and it's not safe to be forcing the thousands of theater workers to come to shows." Her castmates backed her up on social media, saying that theater performers are humans too, and that their thoughts and feelings should be at the forefront of these types of decisions when deciding if shows should perform or not. So it ties in the bigger issue of performer and actor safety and rights, which is super important and always has been very important.
Absolutely. Well, Kate, thank you so much. We got some shows to definitely go and see now that the weather is starting to lighten up a little bit. But when we return, we are discussing whether fans are faithful or traitors to this popular reality TV show. We will be right back with Peelers. Welcome back to Unpeeled. It's a game where alliances can change overnight and trust can cost you everything. The Traitors has quickly become one of the most talked about reality TV shows, and our reality TV reporter Gabriella Guadalupe has the latest. Gabriella?
Thank you, Isabella. If you're looking for your next reality TV obsession, The Traitors is for you. The hit competition series just wrapped up the season 4 finale of The Traitors UK, and now all eyes are on the US version, which is quickly taking over the internet. Now, in its 4th season, The Traitors US drops a cast of familiar faces into a Scottish castle where deception is the name of the game. Players are secretly assigned as either faithfuls or traitors, with the traitors working behind the scenes to eliminate competitors, while the faithfuls try to expose them before it's too late. This season's cast includes actor Michael Rappaport, Love Island USA standout Rob Roush, and other favorites, making season 4 one of the most talked about yet. Now, it wouldn't be a top-rated, record-breaking reality show without a little drama. And this season, much of it is surrounding former Bachelor Colton Underwood. Underwood appeared on season 23 of The Bachelor in 2019, where he began a relationship with winner Cassie Randolph. After the couple split in May of 2020, Randolph filed a restraining order just months later, accusing Underwood of stalking her, tracking her car, and sending anonymous messages. The order was later dropped. Underwood made headlines again in 2021 when he came out as gay on Good Morning America. Now, Traitors fans are calling out his casting and behavior on the show, with many labeling him unlikable and insufferable. The backlash grew after an argument with fan favorite former housewife Lisa Rinna in episode 6. Rinna posted a comment about Underwood on Threads responding to a fan, writing, quote, "Let's talk about being a stalker." She later walked it back, saying the comment was made in her housewife mode and asked fans to be gentle with Underwood. Producers behind The Traitors have also urged viewers to support the cast. Episode 7 of The Traitors US premieres tomorrow night at 9 p.m. on Peacock. Host Alan Cummings says the episode features the greatest moment in Traitors history. So don't miss it, because I know I won't. Back to you guys.
Harry Styles is back with a new music video, trading feather boas and sparkly jumpsuits for a more simple look, proving he's always walking the fine line between classic and bold style. Here to tell us more is our fashion and beauty reporter, Ella Castrillon. Ella, it's a beautiful day. Harry Styles is back with a song and a music video, so tell us more about his look in this video.
Yeah, so in this new single, Aperture, just released last week, so exciting, and a part of his new 4th album, his actually whole look is custom Prada from the 1990s. And he even reached out to their co-creative directors for this look, super cool, and in the video, he's actually wearing a navy trench coat with a gray cashmere sweater and matching gray pants. And it wouldn't be Harry Styles without a pop of color, so he has on these bright lime green, also Prada shoes, and Vogue is even reporting that this will be a major trend to see an artist, calling his shoes the sneakeria, a cool mix between a sneaker and a ballet flat.
So how does this contribute to Styles' overall brand?
Yeah, so really what stood out the most for me was Prada's iconic lipstick print, and this is actually an archive print from their 2000s Spring and Summer Women's Wear collection. And I think this lipstick print really does such a good job at channeling his brand of being able to really challenge traditional menswear fashion and really exceeding gender expectations. And this is why he was the first male artist to have a solo cover of Vogue. So I'm really excited to see what the rest of his looks will look like.
Yeah, so speaking of that, what fashion can we look forward to for the rest of the album?
Yeah, so in this music video, it's very different from his past work, especially Harry's House album and Love on Tour. And you can see here in the cover, he's a much simpler look with just classic mid-wash blue jeans and a very basic t-shirt. However, Rolling Stones does call him a man of many styles, kind of with a play on words there, so I'm sure we will see some of his sparkly jumpsuits soon, and I'm excited to see what the rest of his looks will look like.
I can't wait for the rest of his looks and the rest of his album. But thanks, Ella. When we come back, we're talking all about the snowstorm that not only brought us outside, but also back to how school worked during 2020. Don't go anywhere, Unpeelers.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where did cats go on vacation? New York.
Jason, let's go see your room.
What do you think? We kept it a little spare, so you can decorate it how you like.
Dinner.
Go. Excellent. Soccer is fun. Yeah, I saw you guys out there.
On Monday, Syracuse University moved classes online due to snow for only the 6th time in school history.
Insane. But students celebrated the snow day, and here to tell us about how they enjoyed the historic day is our Syracuse events reporter, Tegan Brostrom.
That's right. It was definitely a historic day. That email went out to students on Sunday night, and students got right to celebrating. Some of the videos you're seeing on your screen aren't necessarily safe activities, but they really just show how excited students were to have a snow day and to have classes moved online. You know, I wouldn't necessarily do that.
Oh my God.
But they got really excited and got creative in their ways. A lot of students also were doing the classic sledding down Krause Hill.
Yeah, I did partake in that.
Exactly, classic Syracuse tradition. And you know, for me, being from California, this was my first snow day ever.
Oh my God!
So
we're the East Coast girls.
Oh my God, that's so exciting!
So I jumped into those snow activities as well. I was excited to participate, have my classes moved online. I went sledding down Krause Hill, enjoyed some nice time in the my warm house.
I love that. I actually didn't leave my apartment for like over 40 hours. So you were better than me, you guys being able to go out and go sledding. I'm sure it was a lot of fun. I remember doing it freshman year, and I think we used like garbage bags.
The thing is to use anything but a sled.
Exactly. Anything but a sled. Was such great memories too. I love doing snow angels. That's my perfect outdoor activity in the snow. What about you, Victoria?
I'm always out there shoveling my driveway.
That's true. That is so true. I had to dig out my car. It was a nightmare. But unfortunately, that is all the time that we have with you tonight.
Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to follow us on our socials at Unpeeled_Syracuse on Instagram and at CitrusTV on X. I'm Victoria Daly.
And I'm Isabella Galan. From all of us here at Unpeeled, stay snowy, Syracuse.